Hello, everyone. Welcome to our AI prospecting launch webinar. We're just going to wait a couple minutes for people to join us. We've got quite a lot of people registered for today, so hoping to get as many of you in here as possible. All right, we'll just give it 2 more minutes and then dive into it. All right. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for spending some time on your Thursday with us to have a look at our newest piece of AI functionality for Rex, the AI prospecting module. My name is Hamish Edwards. I'm the sales manager at Rex for Australia and New Zealand, and I'll be taking you through a bit of a slide deck today, a demo of the functionality in the system, and also running you through pricing for the new functionality as well. So anyone that's joined one of our launch webinars before, as always, you can ask questions through the Q&A section throughout the meeting, and we'll spend a bit of time at the end to answer those questions. I've got Reno and Joel from our product team standing by, ready to see your questions and answer them. So please do not hesitate to ask anything and everything there, but please be polite as well. We are people too. So let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started. So we've got the window there. Alrighty. So hopefully you can all see that. Uh, AI built with purpose built into Rex CRM. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen this before. We have not been quiet about it. We have a very robust and innovative AI roadmap for Rex CRM going forward for the rest of this year and into next year. We've really had the capacity to build a lot of intelligent AI tools directly into the CRM, into Rex. And this has been enabled by the fact that Rex itself as a product was completely built on an open API architecture. So from I think it was the second iteration of Rex back 13 or 14 years ago, the entire platform is built with an open API. And that means we can basically access any part of the system we can and any integrators can too. And that means as the AI revolution has come about, as these tools have been developing and improving faster and faster, we've really been able to fully integrate it into our platform. It's not something that sits alongside your CRM or just touches it at a surface level. We've really been able to fully integrate AI at a foundational level into the platform to make Rex an AI first CRM platform. And the first major CRM on the market that has this level of capability built directly into the platform. So what's driven our AI design? So we did a lot of market research, basically. It's not too sexy, but we brought together a huge cross-section of clients across Australia, New Zealand, and the UK. Everything from large franchise operations to your medium agencies with multi-locations to small teams and individual agents that are quite tech savvy and those that aren't as well. We put together what we call the AI advisory board and did a lot of market research to work out the challenges that agents and agencies were seeing, not just currently, but also going into the future. And we basically settled on these five challenges, these five pillars that we aim to solve with our AI functionality built into the system. So I'll quickly go through all of these. I'll highlight the ones that are relevant to the functionality we're showing today. Number one, admin falls behind. So this has always been a problem in real estate from when everything was paper notes through to the first iterations of CRMs that were server based. Even now, it's an issue as well. Agents often don't do admin. They're not detail admin oriented people. And it does often fall onto the admin staff to go through and input data into the database, make sure notes are recorded, make sure data is actually entered. So that was the first challenge that we tried to resolve with our AI functionality. And one of our AI tools, the AI Admin Assistant, which I will be touching on today, and we've also done a similar webinar for, can really help to resolve this. The AI Admin is a conversational AI chatbot built directly into the CRM, allowing you to type or dictate what you want to happen to perform complex actions in your CRM. The best way to think of it is like a digital assistant. Tell it what you need, tell it what you want, and it will go ahead and do that for you. The second challenge that we're trying to solve with our AI tools is that prospecting fails. It can be quite difficult to know who to call, why you're calling, and who to reach out to. Most agencies we deal with have a database anywhere between 30,000 to often over 100,000 people in there. And most of the time, they're not actually being touched, they're not actually being engaged with. And it can be really difficult for an agent to sit down and know who to reach out to, who should I call next. And that sort of feeds into the third challenge there is that agents will often overwork the hot leads. It's not a particularly negative thing. It makes sense. You've got someone that's ready to transact in the next 10, 20, 30 days. They're the ones that are going to take most of your time. They're the ones that you're going to pick up the phone immediately for. They're the ones you're going to chase up on a day-to-day basis. The problem with that though is you end up neglecting the 70, 80, 90% of the rest of your database, the ones that aren't exactly hot just yet, the ones that may be warm or thinking about selling or buying property. And of course, all the dormant, cold, and freezing leads in your database as well. They often just get completely ignored until they themselves take the initiative to engage with you, to submit an inquiry, to show up to an inspection. That was the third challenge we found with the AI advisory board. The fourth challenge is that oftentimes agents want clear actions. This doesn't apply to everyone, but we did find a lot of agents, a lot of team leaders, a lot of sales managers find that the agents do have difficulty deciding what to do next. Again, similar to the second point there, working out who they need to reach out to, no reasoned actions. They're doing things because that's the way things have always done without a deeper understanding of why they're doing it or what sort of outcome they're chasing with the engagement. And then the fifth challenge is one that some agents suffer from, some agents don't. But what do they actually say when they do reach someone, when they're prospecting, you get in touch with someone? What do I actually say to them? Again, a lot of agents don't need help with that. A lot of agents need help to stop talking, but giving them targeted, value-driven touch points that they can use as a foundation for any outreach is a big part of what we've aimed to do with the prospecting tool here. So those are the five challenges we sort of honed in on with our advisory board that we're really trying to resolve with our AI roadmap in the Rex CRM. And again, really ingrain AI through the CRM platform to make Rex an AI first CRM. And this is the strategy we came up with. These are the four tools that we're going to be implementing into the database over the coming months. So AI admin, that's what I mentioned earlier. Type or dictate actions you want to happen, and they'll happen in your database for you. That's something that's extremely useful. It is a revolutionary way for you to engage with your database. I'm genuinely impressed with how well the AI admin works. And it's honestly the biggest change to your CRM and your systems and your processes since when you moved from a paper Rolodex to an online database. The AI admin will very much change the way your agents work. It's going to absolutely maximize your process efficiency. But more than that, it's going to make sure that every single bit of data in your CRM is of a really high quality, give your admins time back in their day, and make sure your agents are as productive as possible. The second point is the AI prospecting tool, what we're here to talk about today. The AI prospecting tool, in short, looks through your entire database overnight. It looks at certain engagement signals from your database, ranks those contacts, and presents each agent a ranked list of people to reach out to daily. It goes as far as to tell them what to say, what sort of outcome they're deriving from that call as well. This is a really useful way to turn that 90% of your database that otherwise wouldn't be touched into an opportunity to make sure that none of those opportunities die in the database and your agents can be proactive and talk to people before they get to the point of actually taking the initiative to inquire or show up to an inspection, which would hopefully be yours, but more than likely might be one of your competitors. As well, we have the AI Manage platform. That one's a little bit further away. That's a tool designed for team leads, sales managers, directors to give them AI-driven insights into not only basic KPIs and how the team's performing, but also insights into market trends and activities the agents are taking that they can use as coaching opportunities for their broader team to give you a more holistic view on how to make your team the most high-performing team possible and really take them to that next level. And then also the AI nurture tool. This is a really exciting tool that the team is currently building out. And this sits basically alongside the AI admin and AI prospecting. This enables complete automated AI correspondence with your database, speaking in the voice of your agents, communicating with your contacts via email and SMS, low touch, high volume communication to confirm where they are in the real estate journey. Are they interested in selling? Are they still in the market? To basically keep touching your contact records, make sure that data is up to date, and surface opportunities directly to your agents through the AI prospecting tool. So let's go ahead and actually take a look at it. Just close out of my slides here and come into Rex. Hopefully, if Zoom's working as I expect it should, you should all be able to see my Rex database at the moment. So for anyone in here that's already using Rex, hopefully this isn't new to you. For anyone that isn't using Rex or hasn't seen Rex before, here it is. I'm not going to take you through a product demo today because I do want to get you guys out of here on time. We'll have a look at the prospecting tool. So the prospecting tool lives over here in the left-hand menu. I'll open that up and we'll see my list of contacts to call today. So as I mentioned, the way that this tool works is it basically continually looks through your database, looks through your entire contacts database, whether that's 1,000 people, whether that's 100,000 people, at these specific engagement signals that your contacts show. All this data is already captured in the CRM for you. So information like when did we last speak to someone? When did they last click on or open one of our emails, whether it was a follow-up email that was actually sent by an agent, an automated email that's sent as part of the buyer or tenant matching engine, even things like your bulk newsletters that you send out of the system. Are people engaging with them? Are they opening them? Are they clicking on them? When did they last actually make an inquiry into our database? A summary of their 30-day activity across your open homes and your inspections. Have they suddenly started showing more engagement with your open homes and inspections? And similarly, have they suddenly started showing more engagement with your emails? That's a pretty low level indication that they might be considering engaging your services. And also a summary of things like their total inquiries in the database, what properties they might own in your database, and what properties they may have previously owned in your database as well. So all these things are engagement signals that we can look at. That data is fed into multiple AI agents that review the engagement signals. They rank those engagement signals. And again, they present each of your agents this list they can reach out to every day. So when your agents log into Rex, they'll see information similar to this. Now, something else you may have noticed is that the AI prospecting tool can also categorize those contacts for you. So I can say that I only want to look at my prospective sellers list today, or I only want to look at my prospective buyers list today. It's a useful way to make sure that your targeted outreach is focusing on whatever your business goals are at any given day. Another useful thing we can do here is filter this list. If I wanted to filter based on any sort of tagging that I'm using in the system already. Tagging in Rex is pretty basic but powerful functionality, allowing you to categorize contacts, properties, and listings. So again, this allows me to really hone in on whatever sort of specific prospecting goals I have. And if this is probably a few too many contacts for me to call today, I can also just show my urgent contacts. And this is going to distill that list to only the ones that the AI says you should call this person today. This is a good opportunity. So let's have a look at some of the people in the list. I'll scroll down to have a look at Ethan Hughes here. So the AI prospecting is telling me that he's a hot seller and this is an excellent opportunity. So as an agent, that's a good enough reason for me to pick up the phone and reach out to Ethan. He's a prospective seller and a prospective buyer. Now, one of the useful tools here is the Why Call Now option. And this actually will give you a summary of these engagement signals. So I'm sure a lot of agents are the same, but for me, if some AI tool is telling me I need to call someone, I kind of want a little bit of context, a little bit of justification on why that is. And we can see that here. So Ethan is a property owner. He's showing consistent email engagement with 2 clicks recently, 4 inquiries in the last 30 days. He has also attended an open home and a private inspection recently. He owns a property at 88 King Street. He's got a classic sell to buy profile, which is worth exploring, which is why I'm reaching out. And he's also showing buyer interest through listing engagement. So just giving you that bit of clarity around why this person's in the list. Over here on the right-hand side is how we actually engage with a contact in the list. So I'll click the log call option, which gives me this information here. So first and foremost, I do get his phone number. So I can pick up the phone and actually call Ethan. And this is also, we can see our suggested talking points. So again, really honing in on that challenge that a lot of agencies, a lot of agents report is that when I do call someone, what do I actually say? Now, if this is someone you've already engaged with, you're probably pretty good at talking to them. But if you've got someone on this list that you haven't even thought about for the last 2 or 3 years, it can be a little bit awkward, a little bit difficult to pick up the phone and just start talking to them about something. And this really helps to overcome that hurdle and get you and your team as productive as possible with the outreach. So not only suggested talking points, we also have a list of data that we should probably check during the call. So ideally, when we reach out to Ethan, we're going to either book an appraisal or take him through a private inspection, invite him to an open home, whatever your process might be for a hot buyer. Now, even if we don't get to that point, even if he's maybe not ready to actually book in an appraisal with me, we can still make sure that this call is extremely valuable, not just for myself, but for the broader team by confirming this data is correct during the call. A value-driven touch point is obviously engaging with someone and letting them know that you're there, but also curating their data, touching up their data to make sure it's as high quality as possible. As you'd probably expect, when we're just feeding data into an AI tool that's doing this sort of ranking and engagement tracking for you, the quality of the data is extremely important. So if you can talk to people and make sure that data is up to date, then that's just going to make the system even more effective for you and the team. And just as a quick aside, talking about the AI nurture I mentioned earlier, this is the sort of activity it'll be doing for you automatically, communicating via email and SMS to do things like review Ethan's ownership portfolio. Do you still live here? Have you moved? Where have you moved? And update your data for you automatically to help with that data quality piece and make sure this list is as effective as possible. So, of course, there's a place for me to record the outcome of our call. I connected with Ethan. We can put our notes in here, whatever my follow-up might be. I left a voicemail, in which case I have the option to snooze this contact till tomorrow. So he'll just be dormant and show up in my list tomorrow. If you have a look over here, we can save in the notes of our call, and we can also just immediately go ahead and add a reminder when we've completed the call. Ethan's not too ready to move into the market now. He asked me to call back in September. Easily record that as part of the engagement here. Now, this whole process is backed by multiple AI agents, and those AI agents learn as you engage with it. So if I encounter someone in the list, let's just pick on Grace here for a second, and I think, hang on, she shouldn't be in here for whatever reason it might be. We've got the dismiss from the list option over here with quite a few different detailed reasons of why I don't think this person should be in the list. They're not a fit. We've already contacted them. They're a duplicate, low quality, their timing's not right, or it's not a contact that I own. I shouldn't be talking to them. Putting in that sort of information as well as any notes feed back into that AI agent loop, and it helps it to learn and optimize the list the more that you engage with it. I'm sure anyone in here that's using Claude or ChatGPT knows that the more you engage with it, the more it learns what's important to you, how to talk to you, and how to make sure every chat is as optimal as possible. And it's the exact same concept when we're dealing with the list here in the AI prospecting. The more you engage with it, the more you use it, the better it will become. Show you another couple useful tools here. If I don't get a chance to talk to Grace, I might want to send her an email. So I click that email button and it will pre-fill a nice little email for me here. This pulls through some of the things from the talking points and the data to confirm when engaging with your contact, and it's just a big time saver to say, yep, send that off. We can, of course, edit this like any email in Rex. We can also use our integration with AIs to generate more comprehensive content or really touch up or add prompts into what we're sending here. But just as a quick touch point, it's very effective. And the exact same thing with maybe shooting out a quick SMS to Grace. Very, very useful functionality there. And we can also snooze this contact. So again, if I'm going to come back to them tomorrow, I can do so. So when I've been showing this functionality to agencies in one-on-one demos, I've had a couple of questions around things like decay. If I ignore my list for 2 or 3 days, is that a problem? And it really isn't. Obviously, the value of this is to give you a filtered list of people to reach out to each day, ranked, so start from the top down. But if I ignore Grace for a few days and she stops showing those engagement signals, then she's simply going to drop in ranking and drop out of the list. If someone is really engaged and is showing a lot of those signals, they'll remain high in that list. But again, the whole idea is to get you and your agents proactively reaching out to these opportunities before they might cool off or engage with a competitor. So it is important to really get into the habit of opening up this list each day and going ahead and starting to call through these people. So very brief look at the AI prospecting functionality there. Again, this looks at those engagement signals that already exist in your database. But what we're going to be doing as we continue to iterate on this functionality is incorporating more data sets into this, including external data sets. So there really are a lot of possibilities when it comes to these sort of tools, incorporating things like website engagement or social media engagement stats, even incorporating non-personalized data like market trend statistics from Cotality or trend reports from Pricefinder, for example, to really feed into this and become a holistic look at who you should be reaching out to from all these external data sets. That's a bit further down the track. The initial release that you guys can start testing and start using in the coming months is what we're showing here today. It's going to start engaging with the data that's already in your database. And something that has me really excited is we're also going to be iterating on this prospecting tool in the future to incorporate prospecting map, a geographical based sort of filtering on the data here. I have a listing at this address, show me everyone in a 10-kilometer radius and run them through this process. So I get a ranked prioritized list of who to reach out to make sure that when I'm piggybacking off one of my existing listings to find another listing, I'm not just throwing shit at the wall, pardon my French. I do get an intelligent ranked list of who I should engage with based on their propensity to actually convert. So it becomes a really, really powerful tool to make sure your agents are getting the most out of your database. So just to reiterate, reviews your database overnight, gives your agents a list of people to engage with every day. This helps to balance out the time your agents spend on the 10% of hot contacts that are ready to transact versus the 90% of the rest of your database that they otherwise wouldn't have touched. This is looking at that broader database and telling you any opportunities it surfaces before they die or engage with a competitor. Now, there's probably a lot of questions around who sees what data. That's one of the most common questions we get. So I'm also going to very quickly show you the settings that we have available for the AI prospecting when we initially launch it. So we will be, again, building on these as we get feedback and requests from agencies. But the most common question we get is how do we decide who sees what contact? Depending on what type of database you operate, for example, in an open database, your agents might see the same person in their list. So there are a couple of rules here that you can apply if that's an issue for you. So initially, when we scoped out this functionality, we were going to say that if you have, as a user in Rex, if you have permission to edit a contact record, then they can show up in your prospecting list. So that does work for a lot of agencies, depending on how you've set up your data sharing permissions. For a lot of closed and hybrid agencies, I'm the only person that has permission to edit my contacts. So I'm only going to see my contacts in the list. My colleagues are not going to see my contacts. For more open databases, though, that could potentially lead to friction. If we both have access to edit a contact record, we might both see that contact in our list. So we also have this additional filter to limit the who we see in the list based on which of the agents was the last one to speak to them. So that's particularly useful in an open database. You might have a team of 5 agents that all have permission to edit a certain contact, but it's only going to show up in the list of the agent that last spoke to them. Pretty straightforward little filter that can help to resolve those conflicts before they arise. And if you see here, there's a few settings around contact handling too. And also, what's the maximum number of contacts that you want to surface in a list for your agents? There's also some useful tools here about excluding people from the list as well, what their relationships are with properties and what their relationships are with listings as well. So a quick look at some of the settings that we'll initially be launching this functionality with. Again, your feedback is extremely valuable and we will continue to iterate on this functionality as we go. Now, one other useful tool I want to show you here is not something that's unique to the prospecting tool. It's something that we have added into Rex recently, but I absolutely love, and that is the contact side drawer. So if I click on contact name, for example, Zoe Smith, we get this useful pop out here, giving me some key information about this contact summarized in a really digestible form. Anyone that's done a demo of Rex with me or anyone else knows that we really, really, really hammer on about the usability of the system, which is true. I'm very proud of that. And part of that usability is giving you and your agents really easy access to the data they need. You don't need to be opening multiple tabs, or clicking through multiple screens to get useful information. So I can immediately see some key stats about Zoe. I can see data around when she last inquired, what properties she owns, what tags I have applied to her. I can also see when her last appraisal was, if we've done an appraisal with her, when we last sold one of our properties. Key information that really helps me as an agent get context and deliver value to this contact. As you can see pretty clearly, it's really easy for me to do things like send out an email or an SMS, or maybe create a reminder or an appointment here, which feed through to our calendar and our external calendar. And down here, we also have a full summary of all the activity with this contact, any listings that she's shown interest in, listings she's inspected or inquired on, and also a summary of her buyer or tenant match profiles here, where we can go ahead and add our own if we did want to. So I just wanted to quickly shout out that contact side drawer because I absolutely love it. And again, it means you can access useful information without jumping through hoops, without opening different tabs, without having multiple screens open as well. Now, what I'm going to very quickly do is switch into my phone and just give you guys a quick look at the AI admin tool, because these tools don't sit separate to each other. They can interact with each other as well. So anyone that joined me for the AI admin launch webinar, this probably isn't too new for you, but hopefully it's new for some people. And hopefully, if tech's working as it should, you guys can see my phone right now. So this is our mobile app Pocket. This shouldn't be new to anyone that's already using Rex. I really, really hope you're using this. Anyone that's not using Rex hasn't seen it before, this is our mobile app. Now, I'm not going to give you a tour of the app. We don't have time for that. I'm going to jump straight into the AI admin tool, which you can see down here. Now, as I mentioned, this is a conversational AI. You can talk to it, tell it what you want it to do, and it will do those things for you. So what I'm going to do is take you through a couple of prompts and then use it to engage with my AI prospecting list as well. So we can type or dictate our prompts into the field here. We can also take pictures, upload photos or documents from our phone. The pictures is really cool. You can take a picture of a handwritten offer form, for example, extract that data and add an offer against the listing in Rex. Take a picture of a competitor's signboard outside a property, extract that data and attach it to a property in your database. Some really cool possibilities there. And as this is currently in open beta, again, this is already in open beta. Anyone that's using Rex has access to the AI admin. We're getting some really interesting feedback and seeing some really cool use cases. So I'm going to quickly add in a prompt here. I can't access the microphone, of course, because I'm talking to you guys. So I've gone ahead and just typed it. Schedule an open home for one of my listings for this afternoon at 4, 60 minutes, and notify all buyers with an SMS. So pretty straightforward. And it tells you what it's doing as it does it. It's not some black box you send instructions to and it does God knows what. It does give you a summary of what's happening. So here we go. Found the listing. Here's today's date, 4 p.m. Let's create the open home and fetch the buyers simultaneously. So you don't have to sit here and watch it doing that. While it's thinking about that, let's go ahead and throw in another prompt. And this is another one I've been playing with recently, and that's to basically add in the details of an offer. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'll copy it in there if I can work out how to copy and paste properly. Oh, there we go. Looks like I've done that twice. So I'll just get rid of that very quickly and do it again. Again, I've typed this. You guys can dictate it. In this case, I've said add an offer for 21 Teamer Street, Noosa Heads, one of the listings I'm running at the moment. The buyer is Gordon Gecko, sale price 1.2, $120,000 deposit due 20th June, conditional on building and pest report due to 21st of June, unconditional 27th of June, settlement 6th of July. So while that's thinking, we can come back to our open home. So here we go. We've created the open home on the listing record. That listing is live. It's on the pause on our website. So that open home is going to immediately push to anywhere we're advertising this listing as well. And here's my little SMS reminder. Hi, just a reminder that there is an open home at 17 Safari Street News Ahead today from 4 to 5. We look forward to seeing you there. It's found 28 buyers linked to that listing. I can go ahead and send that SMS to all 28 of those buyers from here. Or if I wanted to, massage the content a little bit, I can. I can tell it to be more assertive. I can tell it to be more passive, add a joke, whatever you want to put in there, and go ahead and send that off. So really, really useful tool there for doing things while you're out and about, dictating to your phone and having it action things for you. Going back to our offer, the following will be created in Rex. Offer, links to the listing, and Gordon Gecko, our purchaser. Note on the listing summarizing all offer terms. Brilliant. Let's go ahead and log the offer so we can see the details there. And then, you know what? Instead of just logging the offer and then not doing anything, I'm also going to tell it to go ahead and communicate that offer to our vendor. So we'll go ahead and tell it to do so. Again, I've copied it twice because my system's a little laggy. Going to go ahead and do that. So in that case, it's just going to draft a nice little email for me to send to my vendor with all the details we've added in there so I can proceed the conversation and look to accept that offer. So while it's thinking about that, go ahead and process it. As you can see there, I had to tell it to do something as well. There are guardrails in place. Again, we don't want this to mess up any of your relationships. We want it to empower your agents to be as productive as possible. I'm going to go ahead and say, show me my top 10 AI prospecting contacts for today. Pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and do that. So you might not be in the office yet to look at the AI prospecting tool on the desktop. So you can just go ahead and ask the admin to surface that list for you. I have already mentioned that the AI admin tool is currently in open beta. So if you're using Rex, please make sure you're using this because we want to get any and all of your feedback. And this is something we'll be rolling out for the desktop system as well. Now we can see the email is drafted to my owner with that offer we've just recorded. Dear Raphael, pleased to advise that we have received an offer. I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but you can see all the key dates there as well. I won't continue this example, but you could then go on to say, add all of these dates to my calendar, for example. Now add them to your X calendar, sync that to your external calendar because we have that full two-way calendar sync. And coming back to the prospecting, here's my top 10 prospecting leads. So it's got each of them here. This is a functional call list, so I could just click into any of these to access that contact record. I set it at the very top of the demo, but because Rex has a fully open API architecture, things like these tools are fully ingrained in the system. I can go straight into the actual contact record and back out. I can say, you know what, draft a quick SMS to all these people, or draft an email to these people, or give me a call list that I can share with my PA or similar. So some really useful tools. This isn't supposed to be a full demo of AI admin. We've already done that. If you are interested in joining the open beta, please just let us know. So I'm going to close out of that and come back to my slide deck just to finish off the rest of this. I'm just going to figure out where I am. There we are. There we go. Come back here. Come back to the slideshow. So the AI prospecting beta is live today. It's going to run through 18th of July. The link is available for you guys in the chat, I believe. So if you have a look in the Zoom chat, you should be able to see the link, register, jump in, start using the AI prospecting tool. The open beta is, of course, absolutely free if you're already using Rex. So I recommend jumping in there and just really hammering the AI prospecting because you're basically getting free, high quality opportunities. Now, when the open beta ends, we are going to be charging for AI prospecting and AI admin. Here we go. Sorry, that's a summary of what I just said. Sign up via the link. Open beta registrations close on the 18th of July. AI prospecting is going to be free for you during that period. After the beta ends for both AI prospecting and AI admin, they will be paid add-ons for your Rex subscription. And here's the pricing here. So AI admin is going to be $60 plus GST per user per month on top of the base cost of Rex CRM. Now, anyone that's used ChatGPT or Claude or any of those AIs know that we have to pay for all of the prompts. So we are implementing AI credits for the AI admin. And what that $60 per user per month gets you is 1,200 AI credits per user. That works out to be around 120 prompts per user per month. So it does give you a very large amount of prompts that you can engage with. If you do find that your team are really, really hammering the AI admin and using it a lot, it's massively saving you time and increasing your efficiency. You can purchase additional AI credits on top of the 1,200 that you get per user with that $60 amount. Separate to that, AI prospecting is $60 per user per month, $60 plus GST per user per month. As you probably would have intuited already, AI prospecting is really geared towards sales agents. So it's not something that you just have to pay for every user in your X account. You can specify which users need the AI prospecting functionality. And again, that one's $60 plus GST per user per month. To put that into perspective, though, if you get your team to at least engage with prospecting, to call the top 3 or 5 contacts every day, um, very confident we can help service at least 1 or 2 extra listing opportunities for you per month. The commission from those is going to pay for the AI prospecting tool many times over. So the ROI on this functionality is absolutely massive. The ROI in AI admin is absolutely readily apparent. Play with it for 5 minutes and you can see that processes that took you 20 minutes now take you 30 seconds. That one is really, really powerful. AI prospecting does rely on you guys doing a bit of work and actually talking to these people and winning listings, but very confident you're going to get your money's back, your money's worth on that many, many times over. And we are doing a special launch bundle, which is that $99 there. Anyone that's already using Rex that wants to add these 2 bits of functionality, if you add them to your account before the end of August, you'll get a special discounted rate of $99 plus GST per user per month for both of those tools added to your account. So it is a good opportunity to get in there, strike while the iron's hot, move faster than your competitors, and really start ingraining these tools into your processes. Anyone in this webinar that isn't using Rex currently, please reach out to myself or the other salespeople to talk about pricing for migrating you from your current system to Rex, incorporating these AI tools. Just to reiterate, this is the pricing for those existing Rex clients that want to add this functionality onto their subscription. But before you have to pay for it, they're both in open beta. So if you haven't yet, please sign up, start playing with them, and form your own decision on whether you think it's worth the cost or not. I think it's a pretty easy decision, but like anything, it's up to you guys to determine whether it's going to benefit you. Just remember, if you're not using this level of AI intelligence, your competitors most likely are. And I think that's all we have in terms of the presentation and the demo today. So we do have a bit of time left to go through answering Q&As. So I'll see if Arino and Joel from the product team can jump on with us and assist with answering those questions. There we go. First one, how does Hamish get so much volume in his hair? Okay. Anyone that actually wants to know, the trick is to not wash it. I do smell awful. All right, move on to the actual product features. Any extra fee to use this feature? Good question. Probably a bit early. We did just go through the pricing. Again, $60 plus GST per user for prospecting. And you can determine which users needed in your account. I'll let Joel and Areno answer. Oh no, these are pretty straightforward questions. I can do these ones. Can you select the user? It doesn't need to be all users. As I was saying, it doesn't need to be all users in the account, just your salespeople users, basically. They will see that it's sent from me and my number. Yep, just like any other SMS from Rex, any SMS you send from that prospector tool is going to come directly from your own mobile number. So we still have a few minutes, so anyone that can think of additional questions, please jump in and ask them. I can see that the team's been very, very, very busy at answering questions throughout the demo there. If anyone has any, Joel, do you think there's any questions there that's worth sort of repeating and shouting out?
Yeah, good call out. Let me just have a read through. So yeah, like one, for example, just with the timing of the beta program. So yeah, definitely get in and register. The exact timing is still TBC, but it's very likely sometime in July. So really just a few more weeks of beta where we want to collect as much feedback as we can before we look to shift into general availability.
Cool. We've got a question. Can a single agent sign up or does the agency have to? This is something tied to your Rex CRM subscription. So it would be something that the agency needs to look at implementing. Again, it doesn't have to be blanket functionality for all users. They can specify users that might want to use the functionality. I will say we do have a little requirement around the user count for prospecting. Basically, looking at your entire Rex database, you need to have you need to have 3 users using prospecting or half your total user count, whichever of those numbers is higher. So, for example, if you've got 10 users in your Rex account, you'll need to have 5 prospecting users. So again, it doesn't have to be everyone in the account, but there are some rules there around how many people will be using it. So when the free period finishes, will it start auto charging? Not at all. We will give you a lot of notice before we do end the beta, give you the option to opt in to paying for it. We're not going to start charging you just automatically if you're in the beta. And so please, anyone and everyone jump into the beta because even if you don't take up the option to use the functionality, we really value your feedback from using it. Can you reply stop to opt out at the end of each SMS template? That's a really good question. Joel, you can confirm this, but that is actually functionality we're sort of looking at building out now as part of the AI nurture that I mentioned at the top of the demo. It's not something that Rex does automatically currently. However, I think most people are used to that sort of tool. So if someone does reply stop, you will see that come in and you can mark them as DNC and Rex. But short answer, no, currently it doesn't, but it will soon.
Correct.
So for New Zealand, the SMSs you send from that desktop system there will come from a short code number. We are looking to build out WhatsApp integration though, so that's a good question there, Masaki. There's no timeline for that, but it is coming soon. It's something that's very important for both you guys in New Zealand and also our clients in the UK. So keep an eye out for any news from us. We will be launching a WhatsApp integration.
Just from Bronson, how does this work with Reader? It is separate from Reader. It is using Rex's own AI intelligence. So yeah, there's no dependency on Reader there.
Yeah, correct. This isn't something you need Reader for. It's separate entirely. Good question here. In terms of analyzing the bar activity and seller activity, does it analyze through what we've put on Rex? Does it also have something to do with the email being logged to realestate.com.au? So good question. Initially, it will just look at the data internally in your CRM. But when you say email logged on realestate.com, that does include if someone's inquired on a listing on realestate.com and that's come into your Rex account as a lead. That is data in the system we can look at. As we keep iterating on this functionality, we're going to start incorporating external data sets as well. The AI admin and this recording will be loaded and available to you. I'm not sure if it'll actually be in the help articles or not, but we will make it very, very clear where it's located, Renee, so you can access it easily.
Um,
So Will's question about do not call. If you have marked a contact as do not call in Rex, the AI will not include them in that prospecting list. It is smart enough to see that. So there is a specific do not call button in Rex on a contact record. So make sure you're using that. As far as I know, if you just have a tag for do not call, that wouldn't exclude them from the list. But please make sure you're using the actual do not call functionality built into a contact record.
and I'll just add on that if there is significant activity or signals coming from that contact, there is a possibility that it could be bumped up into the list. But in the UI, it is very clear that they've been marked as do not contact with a red message at the top.
Cool. All right. Thanks for that, Marino. Kato, so if you sign up for the $99 a month for both of them, is that going to be a subscription or can you use it for 6 months if you wanted? We'll have to get back to you on that one, Kato. My understanding is that we'll tie into your existing Rex CRM contract. So whatever the term is remaining on that contract, this add-on will apply for that same term. For those of you that are not on a contract, if you've gone month to month because you've been using Rex for a while, then we can look at renewing your contract and locking in that pricing for a certain period. So we've got Josh here. So on the topic of minimum required users, we have 15 users, but only 5 agents have been needing the prospecting tool. The remaining users are rental team and administrative assistants. Is there much wiggle room for this? That is above my pay grade, Josh, I'm afraid. So if you want to shoot through an email or we'll just note that and get in touch with you, I'll talk to the higher ups. If we're looking at 15 users and 15 of them are going to use AI admin, but only 5 of them are going to use prospector, then I'm sure that's something we can talk about. But the rule that's been determined is what I was saying earlier: either 3 users on prospector or half your user count, whichever number is higher. Yvonne, when you register for the beta, how long before it is active in your account? That's a question for you guys.
Yeah, so we review the list daily, so it should be pretty quick. So everyone that gets in there today should have it by tomorrow. But yeah, if there is any issues with that, reach out. But yeah, expect to see it by tomorrow, and you'll also receive an email confirmation. So yeah, keep an eye out for all of that once you've registered.
Brilliant. Fleur's saying that just tried to register via the chat and pushing the register now button, nothing happened. I don't know if we're maybe getting flooded with requests there. Joel, are you able to see registrations that come through?
I'd have to go check. But yeah, it's more just whether the form's actually giving a successful confirmation. But I can go and have a look at that now. Let me see if I can
I
see.
think we are getting them through, Fleur, so don't worry too much if it looks like nothing's happening. I wouldn't be surprised if there's just a lot of people on that form at the moment. So Diana says, is it ideal to be sending emails through Rex to pick some of the engagement, no more sending through Outlook? I would say yes, for that exact reason. The emails you send from Rex will have things like people opening it, clicking on it, and that all feeds back into the engagement signals. Um, Keep in mind, any emails you send from Rex will look from your client's perspective like you have just sent them from Outlook. They'll come directly from your email address, they'll have your email signature and everything. Same thing with newsletters. I recommend if you haven't looked into Rex's newsletter tool, or it's maybe been a while since you did, revisit that. We did do quite a large update to Rex's newsletter EDM tool at the end of last year, and it is a very functional drag and drop newsletter builder, allowing you to really easily create templates, launch campaigns, and all that engagement data feeds straight back into the prospecting tool. So I would recommend taking a look at incorporating Rex's newsletters into your processes as well. So we've got someone anonymous saying the AI is throwing up DNCs. As Arino said previously, if you do have someone that's do not contact marked as DNC in Rex, but they start showing a lot of engagement signals, they will show up in that list, but it'll have a very clear red banner saying this person is do not contact. So it's up to you guys how you might engage with that. If you just dismiss them from the list, that's an option too. However, it could be the case where they were do not contacted a couple of years ago and now they're ready to re-engage with you. This is a good question from Cato. So, if you add a note from the conversation, for example, Sandra is potentially looking to sell in 6 months' time, will AI Prospector recognize and automatically remind you? No, not currently. That's why there's the save and add reminder button when you add in a note, which will allow you to just set yourself that reminder for 6 months' time. That is feedback we've had previously on whether it can read the note you add and sort of suggest actions going forward. Not something we've scoped out, but definitely something that we've got on the radar. Does it integrate with the AI admin side so that any notes or information out of contact pulled across? So the engagement from the AI admin, sending people emails, sending people SMSs, calls that are made, that all feeds into those engagement signals. Currently, the AI prospecting tool doesn't read the actual content of any notes on a contact record, but that is something we're going to be building out, looking at notes, reading the content of those notes, and doing things like intent measuring as well to see if someone's a potential positive, potential negative, and building that into the algorithms too. So TJ's asked, can we have email chains on Rex? So that's actually a good question. So that's something I'm really excited about with the AI nurture functionality is we are looking to build out full two-way email, SMS, and WhatsApp comms in the Rex system. If you have an AI tool that's sending correspondence and performing actions based on the response, it obviously needs to be able to read the response. So currently, TJ, we don't have email chains in Rex, but that is something we're looking to build out in the next I wouldn't give a time frame because Joel will kill me, but in the next little while. I will mention that if you haven't yet, you can use the email Dropboxing functionality that's already in Rex and forward emails from your Outlook or Gmail, whatever it might be. You can also set up an auto forwarding rule, which will file emails against the contact record, but it doesn't present it as a as an email chain or thread like you might expect in something like Gmail.
Yeah, just add. So that is something we're actively looking at and working on now. So it's not an infinite time horizon. It is just, yeah, it is a big feature, but we know how critical getting that visibility of, or the full two-way conversation is into Rex, just for general day-to-day use of Rex, but especially as we shift and start launching these AI tied features, yeah, having that information natively in Rex is key. So yeah, keep an eye out.
Yeah, and TJ's looking forward to seeing that next week, Joel.
All
So
right,
there you
right.
go, mate. Get a
It
wriggle on.
sounds
And
like
we'll
that,
do
man.
one more question because we have run over time a little bit, and that's Simon. So smaller database, 1,000 people in a database. How many people would suggest to call in any given week? So as you may have seen from the settings menus I showed, you can tell it how many people you want to surface each day. We don't have strict guidelines on it, but if it's looking for 60 people every day from your database of 1,000, as you'd imagine, the quality will probably degrade quite quickly in terms of what engagement signals it can look at. So this is sort of uncharted territory and something that will need your help to start looking at. But I'd probably recommend just focusing on the top 3 or 4 people each day, or even maybe spacing it out and doing it every second day, just so you have time for your database to start rebuilding those engagement signals. Because if you call through 60 people every day for a week, that's 300 people right there, which is, going to be a large chunk of the potential opportunities in your database, Simon. So, yeah, no hard rule from us, but would probably recommend looking smaller scale, focusing on the first few contacts each day. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and end it there. We've run over a little bit. Thank you all, everyone that's still in here for joining us to look at the functionality. If you haven't yet, please register for the open beta. Thank you everyone that asked questions as well. I think that's probably the most amount of questions we've ever seen for one of these. Keep your eyes peeled for more information about the open beta ending and also some more information about AI Nurture and AI Manage and further developments for X. But thank you all for your time today, and I'm sure we'll be speaking again soon.